Hey everyone, welcome to Sonic Footnotes. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Oh my God, Alex, today's episode is absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about actual treasure hunts.
Exactly. We're talking about songs that were literally lost, forgotten in vaults, buried in attics, left on shelves collecting dust for years, sometimes decades.
And then someone stumbles upon them and they explode. Chart toppers, Grammy winners, songs that defined entire careers. Wait, some of these were Grammy winners.
Oh, you have no idea. We've got 8 incredible stories for you today. Songs that almost never saw the light of day.
I am so ready for this. Let's do it. Okay, wait, this song has whistling in it, right? That iconic whistle everyone knows.
Yep. December 1967, Memphis. Otis Redding records Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay. But here's what most people don't know. That whistling, it was never supposed to be there.
What do you mean? It's like the most recognizable part.
Otis recorded it as a placeholder. He was going to replace it with another verse. But 3 days after the session, he dies in a plane crash. He's only 26 years old.
Oh God, that's heartbreaking.
The song sits incomplete at Stax Records. His producer, Steve Cropper, has this raw, unfinished recording. He doesn't know what to do with it.
So what made him release it?
A few weeks later, Cropper decides the song is perfect as it is, whistling and all. January 1968, they release it.
And it became his first #1 hit. Actually, wait, wasn't it the first posthumous #1 single ever?
Exactly right. First posthumous single to top the Billboard Hot 100.
And it stayed at #1 for 4 weeks. Plus it won 2 Grammys, Best R&B Song and Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. All because someone decided that unfinished was actually perfect.
That whistle everyone loves? Pure accident.
Okay, Alex, question. What's the most valuable thing you've ever found in a shoebox?
Old concert tickets. You?
A half-melted chocolate bar. Now imagine finding a lost Beatles song.
Yoko Ono did exactly that. Let's drop in the opening phrase Lennon recorded back in 1977. John Lennon is at home in the Dakota Building, New York. He records a demo on a cassette tape. Just him, a piano, and an unfinished idea for a song called Free as a Bird.
Wait, so John recorded it before he died?
Exactly, but it's rough. Background noise, tape hissing, John humming parts he hasn't figured out yet. Fast forward to 1994. John's been gone for 14 years, and Yoko Ono finds this cassette in a shoebox.
A shoebox? Are you serious?
Literal shoebox. She gives it to Paul, George, and Ringo, and they decide to do something incredible. Finish it.
Oh my God, so this is the Beatles reuniting. That must have been huge.
First time in a studio together since 1970, except John's only there on tape. They use cutting-edge technology to clean up his vocals, add harmonies, guitars, drums. George adds a ukulele solo.
Of course, George adds a ukulele solo. So when did this come out?
November 1995, 25 years after they broke up.
And it went top 10 in like 15 countries, right? I read it was the fastest-selling single in UK history at that point. Plus, that music video with all the Beatles Easter eggs. It won a Grammy for Best Music Video.
Exactly. A song that sat in a shoebox for 17 years became a global cultural moment.
Imagine what else could be in shoeboxes out there.
Here's a song that wasn't lost, but its true destiny was buried.
Everyone I know goes away.
Okay, I know this one. Johnny Cash covered 9 Inch Nails, right? But how was this lost?
Good question. The song wasn't technically lost, but its potential was buried. 1994, Trent Reznor writes Hurt for 9 Inch Nails. It's raw, industrial, about addiction and self-destruction.
So it was underground?
Exactly. Flash forward to 2002. Johnny Cash is 70, his health is failing, His wife June is dying. Producer Rick Rubin plays him Hurt.
Wait, Johnny Cash covering a Nine Inch Nails song? That sounds wild.
Cash connects with it immediately, but when he records it, he changes one key word. Reznor's original line said, "I wear this crown of shit." Cash changed it to, "I wear this crown of thorns."
Oh wow, so he made it spiritual.
Completely transforms the meaning. But here's the thing, his label almost doesn't release it. They think it's too dark, too sad.
What made them change their minds?
Rick Rubin fought for it. March 2003, they release it with a music video shot in Cash's closed museum.
That video, it's devastating. And it basically went viral before viral was even a thing, right? Like, it was all over MTV and won Video of the Year at the MTV VMAs.
Yep, and Trent Reznor said something incredible. When he heard Cash's version, he felt like it wasn't his song anymore, that it now belonged to Johnny.
And Johnny died just 7 months after recording it. That video became his farewell. I still get chills thinking about it. Rolling Stone magazine called this the greatest song of all time, but it was almost lost.
Once upon a time, you dressed so fine, threw the bumps of dime in your prime.
June 1965. Bob Dylan walks into Columbia Studio A in New York. First day of recording, complete disaster.
Wait, the greatest song ever had a bad first session?
They record over a dozen takes. Nothing works. The energy is wrong, arrangement is off. Dylan's frustrated, so they scrap it.
They just gave up?
The tapes get shelved. Everyone moves on. But Dylan can't let it go. A few days later, they come back with a new approach.
What changed?
They bring in Al Cooper on organ, except Al wasn't supposed to play organ. He was there as a guitarist. But he sneaks onto the organ during the take because he wants to be on the record.
So that iconic organ riff is someone just winging it?
Exactly. Dylan hears the playback and says 3 words. Turn the organ up.
That's it. That's the moment.
That's the moment. The song that almost got abandoned becomes 6 minutes of revolution.
And radio stations said it was too long, but it still hit number 2 on the charts and basically invented folk rock. Plus, didn't it win a Grammy Hall of Fame award later?
It did, all because they gave it a second chance.
Alex, can I ask something I've wondered my whole life, like a Rolling Stone? Is Dylan secretly talking about the Rolling Stones? Like, is this a diss track from the 60s?
Okay, Jamie, this is one of the biggest myths in music, and the answer is absolutely not. Zero connection. Not a jab, not a reference, nothing.
Really? Same words, same decade. Come on.
I know. But here's the truth. The phrase Rolling Stone existed long before the band. It comes from the old proverb, a rolling stone gathers no moss, meaning a wanderer, a rebel, someone always moving, never settling.
So Dylan is talking about a drifter, not Mick Jagger.
Exactly. Now here's where it gets delicious. In 1950, Muddy Waters releases a blues classic called Rolling Stone.
Wait, that's the one that inspired the band's name, right?
Right. The Rolling Stones took their name from Muddy Waters, not from Dylan.
Okay, but then the universe got confusing because
2 years after Dylan releases Like a Rolling Stone, a brand new magazine appears in 1967.
Rolling Stone magazine.
Exactly. And that name is directly inspired by Dylan's song, not the band. So let me map this out. Muddy Waters inspires the band, Dylan inspires the magazine, and everyone assumes Dylan was referencing the band he didn't inspire? Nailed it. A cultural triangle of names. But no hidden messages between Dylan and the Stones.
Mind blown. Okay, now I really want to hear that organ mistake again.
That sloppy, late accidental organ riff became the backbone of one of the most important songs of the 20th century. So, let's continue.
Now there you go again, you say you want your freedom.
Oh, I love this song, but Fleetwood Mac was such a mess during rumors, weren't they?
Understatement of the century. 1976, Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham just broke up. John and Christine McVie are divorcing, Everyone's stuck in a studio together making an album.
Sounds like a reality show disaster.
Somehow they create Rumors, one of the best-selling albums ever. Stevie writes Dreams in about 10 minutes, alone in a studio room with just a keyboard.
10 minutes?
She records a rough demo on cassette, just her singing and playing, and then she loses it.
Wait, she loses her own demo?
For 3 days, nobody can find it. They're about to move on when a sound engineer discovers it under a couch cushion.
Under a couch cushion? You cannot make this up.
They record it properly, and it becomes Fleetwood Mac's only #1 single in the US. Their only one.
And that album stayed on the Billboard 200 for over 500 weeks. Plus, Dreams went viral again on TikTok in 2020 because of that skateboarding guy drinking cranberry juice.
Right, 43 years later, it charts again.
Your masterpiece might literally be under your couch right now.
People run in circles, it's a very, very...
Hold on, I know 2 versions of this song. There's the 80s one and that really sad one, right?
Exactly. 1982. Tears for Fears release Mad World. Classic 80s synth sound. Does okay in the UK, but doesn't break through globally.
So what happened?
Fast forward 20 years. Gary Jules is working on the soundtrack for the movie Donnie Darko. The director asks him to cover Mad World.
Donnie Darko, that weird time travel movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gary strips everything away. No synths, no drums, just piano and his voice. Haunting, vulnerable, nothing like the original.
When did they record it?
One afternoon, almost an afterthought for a small indie film that barely anyone saw in theaters.
Wait, so it flopped?
The track gets buried on the soundtrack. Most people don't even notice it until 2003, a year later, when Donnie Darko becomes a cult classic on DVD.
Oh, so then people discovered it.
Suddenly, everyone's talking about this version. It gets re-released as a single in the UK.
And it went straight to #1, Christmas 2003. I remember it beating all the huge pop releases. Michael Andrews and Gary Jules knocked everyone else off the top spot.
A forgotten cover of a forgotten song becomes one of the defining tracks of the 2000s.
All from a movie soundtrack nobody heard the first time around.
Leonard Cohen, the legendary songwriter. What's the story here? 1966. Leonard Cohen is a poet and novelist. He's never released music professionally. He writes this haunting piece about a woman named Suzanne who lives by the river in Montreal.
So how did it get lost?
Cohen plays it for Judy Collins at a party. She's blown away and wants to record it, but Cohen refuses to give her the recording or sheet music.
Wait, he refuses. Why?
He doesn't think he's a real musician. He's embarrassed. So Judy has to learn it by memory from that one party performance.
That's insane.
1966, Judy Collins releases her version. It becomes a folk standard. Everyone's covering it. But Leonard's original version doesn't exist yet.
So when did he finally record it?
December 1967, over a year later. His debut album, Songs of Leonard Cohen, and even then his label didn't want to release it. They thought his voice was too weird, too depressing.
But it became a classic.
You want to travel with her, and you want to travel...
That album is considered one of the greatest debut albums ever. And Suzanne has been covered by like 200 artists. Nina Simone, Peter Gabriel, even Roberta Flack.
Right. And it almost never happened because the songwriter didn't believe in himself.
Sometimes other people see your genius before you do.
Okay, Shania Twain, country pop superstar. How does she fit into lost recordings? 1997. Shania and her producer/husband Mutt Lange record You're Still the One for her album Come On Over.
That album was huge. But what was lost?
The recording studio burns down.
What? The whole studio?
Complete electrical fire. They lose most of the album masters, including the final mix of You're Still the One. Months of work, gone.
Oh my God, I would have had a breakdown.
Shania and Mutt have to start over. But here's the twist. They can't recreate the exact sound. Shania's voice has changed slightly. The musicians aren't available. Some of the equipment was destroyed.
So what did they do?
They re-record it from scratch. Different vocal takes, different guitar tones. It's similar, but not identical.
And that became the version we all know?
You're still the one I run to.
February 1998, they release it. It becomes one of her biggest hits.
Oh yeah, it went to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it won 2 Grammys, Best Country Song and Best Female Country Vocal. Plus, it crossed over to pop radio completely, which was rare for country back then.
Exactly, and the album became the best-selling country album of all time.
All because a fire forced them to start over and accidentally made it better.
Sometimes disaster leads to magic.
Okay, Alex, my mind is blown. 8 songs that almost never existed.
From shoeboxes to couch cushions, from cassette tapes to studio fires, these tracks almost never made it.
Makes you wonder what's still out there, sitting in someone's attic or storage unit, waiting to be discovered.
Could be the next greatest song of all time.
If you loved this episode of Sonic Footnotes, make sure to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening right now. And leave us a review, it really helps.
And if you've got any stories about lost recordings, forgotten music, or wild coincidences in music history, hit us up on social media. We'd love to hear them.
Thanks for listening to Sonic Footnotes.
Until next time, keep discovering.